years ago today at Brands Hatch, the first ever Formula Ford race took place at Brands Hatch. The category is still going strong, and today the 6th round of the historic Formula Ford Championship, and the cars head to the grid for the heat. The first 26 cars from this race will progress to the championship race later on. It'll be Brian Morris and Wesley Mitchell that go off the front row, ahead of Tim Bryce and Roland Svensson. Rob Smith and Kevin Stanzel on row 3, ahead of Daniel Pickett and Chris Sharples. Andrew Wiggins and Ian Gier will complete the top 10. Watch out for retirements from yesterday's race coming through. Michael Grant Peterkin, Cameron Jackson, Alistair Littlewood and Ed Thurston, as well as Lee Penson. Some quick drivers coming through the field then, here on the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. You see through the grid sheet a massive amount of constructors here at Brands Hatch, something like 16 different types of Formula Ford that will take place here at Brands Hatch, as we mentioned, celebrating 50 years of Formula Ford. And away we go for this 20-minute race, on board with Kevin Stanzel, who makes a decent start. He's pulling up alongside Rob Smith, heading down to Paddock Hill Bend. I think it was a great start for Wesley Mitchell, who's dropped to third, but he dives back to the inside to grab second at Paddock. And now we can run on board with Cameron Jackson, who dives around the outside to gain some positions. Jackson led the 5th round of the championship yesterday before the distributor arm came loose, and therefore messed with the engine timing, and he lost power of that Lola T200 run by Neil Fowler Motorsport. Car all fixed though, and it looks to be flying on this first half a lap, already gaining a number of positions. If he can get to the front, he will be able to start 13th on the grid for the race later on. He's moving around the outside of cars at Surtees. Further back, and there's Ed Thurston in the Alden, another driver coming through the field, as is Alistair Littlewood, both going around the outside of Peter Hannon, who we ride on board with. Back on board with Cameron Jackson as he tries to dive his way past. He does so into Hawthorns to gain 2 places, or does he? Because Louis Handel in the Alden, run by Marquette Motorsport, continues to run around the outside, but into Westwood and getting Jackson later on the brakes. Started on the front row yesterday, as I said, he led the way. So, one off, if not the fastest person here in historic Formula Ford at Brands Hatch this weekend. But Wesley Mitchell has passed Brian Morris to take the race lead. Former champion is Wesley Mitchell in Simon Hadfield Motorsport, Lotus 59 this weekend. There's Michael Grant Peterkin in the Brabham trying to gain a place. He's ahead of Ed Thurston at the moment. Those 2 drivers headed the heat yesterday. Let's ride once more on board with Cameron Jackson, because he dives down the inside of 2 cars into Paddock. That was Neil Schinner and Andrew Wiggins running side by side. He made short work of them by diving down the inside of them there, not wasting time to get to the front of the field. Of course, the longer it takes to get past some of the slower runners, drivers like Wesley Mitchell will be able to pull away. So Cameron Jackson making sure he can get to the front quickly, and he's definitely doing that. Slow in there on the Brabham straight, that was John Slack. He had problems yesterday as at Cadwell Park last time out, and it looks like the problems are reoccurring here. Chris Stewart, who retired from the heat yesterday, working his way through, looking up the inside of the Ginetta of Bill Cowing at Druids, and he goes through. Back on board with Jackson though, I think that's Ian Geary up ahead, making his usual appearance in the championship here at Brands Hatch, and Cameron Jackson down the inside into Westfield to go through. Up ahead though, Wesley Mitchell leads the way, but we ride on board with Kevin Stanzel up towards Sheen Curve, chasing Rob Smith. But it's Mitchell and Morris now, first and second, driving away from the field. And Roland Svensson in third. There's Cameron Jackson, who's in that group for 3rd position and chasing down Pickett down towards Clearways. He goes down the inside to gain the position. Another gain of place for Cameron Jackson. Now he's on the gearbox of Kevin Stanzel. He goes to the outside of him, heading down the Brabham straight. There's some good dicing up ahead as well. Down a gear for Stanzel, who we now ride on board with as he sees the Lola slide around the outside of him. Look at the speed he carries through Paddock Hill Bend. He hits the bottom of the hill, the bottom of the car comes out. You can see a puff of smoke from the bottom of the car, and now he goes round the outside of the next car, but Dan Pickett in turn has gone past Kevin Stanzel, back on board of Jackson. He's got Tim Bryce. This is for 4th place. We're only on lap 3. A stunning drive this has been from Cameron Jackson, so quickly working his way up through the field. Chris Stewart turns his way through Paddock Hill Bend. He looks to the inside of Phil Nelson in the Druids. Quite find a way through there though. Roland Spencer has now been caught by Jackson, and he's going to slide on the inside here, going down Dingledale as they climb the hill up towards Sheen Curve. 2 wheels on the grass there for Cameron Jackson. Pass on the grass from Jackson to go 3rd. Now Roland Spencer's under pressure from Tim Bryce. There's Ed Thurston. He dives to the inside of Andrew Wiggins in towards Sterling's to gain the place. The winner of yesterday's heat, dominant performance that was from the front. Today, never worked his way through the field. Not needed to practice to pass. He's making it work, as is Cameron Jackson, who's now in the battle for the lead. To Brian Morris. Neil Fowler Motorsport teammate in Morris, and Jackson down the inside to gain the position. Now Wesley Mitchell is up next. Racing this Lotus 59 for the first time this weekend. The twitch he had through there, and that's allowed Jackson right underneath him. He looks to the inside, heading up towards 30. Mitchell gives him room, but later on the brakes is Wesley Mitchell to stay ahead. Is he going to slide a bit wide here? In the toe now, heading down towards Hawthorne is Jackson. He pulls out to the left-hand side of the circuit. They go now down the hill, down Pilgrim's Drop, and then they climb back up towards Hawthorne, and into the race lead goes Cameron Jackson. It only took 2.5 laps for him to get to the front. Rudolph Ernst now under pressure from Chris Stewart, who's looking to the outside. Down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend. Nigel Adams to the fore of this battle. Peter Hannum, I believe, is behind Rudolph Ernst and on board Cameron. Chris Stewart, who looks to the inside in towards 30. Through he goes. Jackson, Mitchell and Morris, that's your top 3 turning their way out of Sterling and back towards the Indy circuit. And it is Roland Spencer leading at this gangle of cars for 4th, and they're all being chased by Ed Thurston. Peter Hannum now challenging Nigel Adams. We saw him just ahead of Chris Stewart, and down the inside, Hannum goes through. Alison Langridge has side-by-side battling up ahead of her. Try and get involved in this battle. Bill Cowing's Janetta at the front of it. But there's a car slowing. Who is that? Damage to the nose cone for Louis Handjul. Out of the way. Into Sterling's for Chris Stewart, who's now trying to work his way up alongside the Lotus 61 of Nigel Adams. This is the outside, going to attempt in towards Clearways, and he goes through as they pass the MHP building on the left hand side. Alan Cook in his Mallock. Paul Unsworth, who's now got ahead of Bill Cowing, and there's Alison Langridge in the Lifetime Racing Lotus. Back to the front of the field, Kevin Stanzel turns his way onto the Cooper Straight, chasing the battle for 4th place. But down the inside goes the Alden of Ed Thurston. He's in his first full season of racing after competing in the second part of last year, moving up from historic karting is Thurston. Side-by-side action just up ahead as well. Great battle this is. Now towards Westfield they go now, and Thurston looking to the outside. Being squeezed a touch there he was. He put 2 wheels on the grass to avoid any incident. Bill Cowing and Alison Langridge battle. A big slide from the Janetta of Cowing, and that gives Langridge a better run down to Graham Hill Bend, and through she goes. Tim Bryce leads his big battle. It's side by side now, with Ronan Svensson falling behind Bryce, and Dan Pickett is up next. He's past Rob Smith and now Ed Thurston alongside Smith as they head down towards Clearways. Let's ride on board with Kevin Stanzel. It's almost 3 wide up ahead. Stanzel look to the inside of Thurston there, but then Thurston gets to run through Clark Curve. He gets right on the turn with Dan Pickett, now heading down towards Paddock Hill Bend. He comes down to the toe, he goes to the left hand side of the circuit, but Pickett defends that as he also is trying to gain a place from Rob Smith. And Smith back to the front of this battle. They climb the hill now up towards Druitt. First into the outside of Pickett, a big slide he gets on there as he tries to carry as much speed around the outside, on the outside line as he can, but he couldn't make a move work. But instead it's down the inside in towards Graham Hill Bend. Again, he can't find a way through as they battle and hold themselves up. Kevin Stanzel once more gets a bit closer to them. Surtees is up next. This is first and got past Kevin Stanzel. He does exactly the same move to go ahead of Dan Pickett. But be careful there not to run out wide over that curve. So wow, and now Pickett has lost momentum, heading down towards Hawthorne, so looking to the outside is Kevin Stanzel. The Merlin and the Crosley going side by side. On the outside, Stanzel and the Crosley can't quite make it work. And up ahead, you can see Ed Thurston trying to gain another place. Down the inside into Westfield, he gets ahead of Rob Smith. Cameron Jackson, race leader, turns his way to Stirling, and already into back marker traffic. Not putting away a huge amount from Wesley Mitchell. No real need to push any harder for Jackson. Ed Thurston still pushing hard, he was down the inside. Now Michael Grant Peterkin getting involved in this battle as well in the Brabham. He looked to the inside of Stanzel, who had a change in towards Hawthorns as Chris Stewart goes ahead of Peter Hannum. Here's a good battle being led by Rob Lamplow. You've got Lee Penson just behind him. And Bill Cowan goes back down the inside of Alison Langridge, so this battle continues between the Ginetta and the Lotus. Langridge has a better run off of the corner though, and she will pull up alongside and back ahead of the Ginetta. Kevin Stanzel turning his way into Druid, and it's all getting rather tight up there, isn't it? Ed Thurston has appeared to drop back ever so slightly once more. Turn left into Graham Hill Bend, and back behind Rob Smith, I believe he is. Stanzel will do about Dan Pickett, but Thurston ahead goes on his trademark inside line to go ahead of Rob Smith once more. Head back out into the countryside. Rob Smith is re-challenging Ed Thurston, and Kevin Stanzel is challenging Dan Pickett once again, heading up towards Hawthorns, but not quite able to make anything work. They've been much later onto the brakes, and I think they're getting past that lap car of John Emery as well, and that added all to the excitement on that occasion, heading through the path. Right-hander. Cameron Jackson leads, so second place is Wesley Mitchell, third is Brian Morris. And here is the battle for fourth, being led by Rob Smith now in fact, Ed Thurston, then Tim Bright, Ronan Svensson dropping back, and once Grant Peterkin again looking to the inside into Stirling on Kevin Stanzel. We've got a couple of more cars joining in, and that one of them is the Titan of Andrew Wiggins. Paddock Hill Bend, and Michael Grant Peterkin in the Brabham now goes past the Crosley of Kevin Stanzel down the inside, making that move work, and now they head up the hill into the Druid hairpin. Fighting at the wheel is Stanzel. Meanwhile, Louis Handel, who has made a pit stop to sort out his nose cone, is just past Alison Langridge down the inside into Surtees. Carrying the speed through the corner and getting almost back onto terms with the Eldon, and she is closing into slipstream up towards Hawthorns. Andrew, though, the much more experienced driver, carrying more speed through the corner and pulling away once more. Andrew's teammate Chris Stewart turns his way through the the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend. He's chasing one of the Neil Fowler Motorsport cars, that's James Lovett. And down the inside goes Stewart to go ahead. Then yet another of the Neil Fowler Motorsport cars, and that's out front for Cameron Jackson. Starting to dominate this race now, ahead of the Simon Hadfield Motorsport car of Wesley Mitchell. Being prepared by Simon's son James this weekend, but this is the battle for the race. The battle of the race, Ronan Spencer, Tim Rice, Dan Pickett, Michael Grant Peterkin as the drivers really involved in it on this occasion. In out of Sterling's, the back left-hander. Left-hander on the Grand Prix loop. Lovett ahead of Stephen King and Peter Hannum. Ahead of those is Chris Stewart, and he's getting on return from Rob Lamplow into the Winkelmann. And a lot more speed down the Brabham Straight for Stewart, and he pulls to the left-hand side of the circuit, round the outside into Paddock Hill Bend. He goes through. Wesley Mitchell in traffic, that's Michael Richings is about to lap. Rush the pass, so he waits until Sterling is over before finding his way ahead. Spencer, Bride, Pickett, Grant Peterkin, Sandel, Shinahan, Wiggins involved in the tussle. Chris Stewart now is on the turn with Lee Penton in his Lotus, and a great move down the inside there, committed stuff from Stewart to go ahead. The car slowing out of Sheen Curve. Trouble then for Harvey Sykes, arm out of the cockpit, and he'll be heading into retirement. There's Stewart ahead of Penson and Lamplow now. Get back to Lovett, who's ahead of Stephen King and Peter Hannum. They turn their way out of Sterling's. Meanwhile, it's side by side into Graham Hill Bend as Michael Grant Peterkin goes down the inside of Dan Pickett. And the side-by-side action through the corner there held them up, and that's allowed Kevin Stanzel to come up the inside into Surtees to attempt to go past Dan Pickett, but Pickett carries the speed around the outside to stay ahead. The long run down towards Hawthorns. Meanwhile, Alison Langridge is heading through Dingle Dell and up towards Sheen Curve and diving down the inside. It's the race leader, Cameron Jackson, car number 64, on his way to winning this heat, and more importantly starting 13th for the later on, so right on term with the Fast Boys. We're very excited about it, particularly because yesterday was anything to go by, an absolute thriller, an outstanding rated works. In fact, one of the best races in the 50 years of Formula Ford racing around the globe. Peter Hannum were on board, really trying to get himself past Stephen King, but run a bit wide there out of the 30s. This is a great battle, isn't it? There's been a change to the rear of it because Andrew Wiggins has got ahead of Neil Schiller. Ian Geary, Dick Dixon are next up ahead of Chris Sharples. Then we have out of the Littlewood car header, Stuart Dick, Michael Rasper, and then the Caldwell of Rowan Williams. James Lovett, Stephen King, Peter Hannum, their battle continues. They turn left through Sterling. Out of Grand Prix loop onto the Indy circuit once more through Clearway. It's a much faster corner on the Grand Prix circuit than it is on the Indy circuit. Much quicker, you can have more speed through it. But it's side by side as James Lovett has Stephen King come round the outside of him into Paddock Hill Bend, and the high line for King, away from the brakes, he goes through. Peter Hannum now has the run on James Lovett up the hill, is later on the brakes, he goes down the inside to gain the place. Ed Thurston now up to third. He's got ahead of Brian Morris, and they're both just lapped Bill Cowing's Janetta. Rob Smith up next, and then into Sheen Curve. I think Tim Bryce has just gone past Roland Spencer and following through with Michael Grant Peterkin. Grant Peterkin was down the inside in towards Sterling, but he couldn't quite find a way past Bryce. Certainly seems to be that is the battle to watch in this one. Stuart Dix is having a good scrap though with Michael Rasper. They turn their way out of Sterling. All over the curves, Rowan Williams behind. You've got Rob Lamplow and Lee Henson having a nice battle. They were running side by side, heading down towards Clearance. For the final time out onto the Grand Prix loop is Cameron Jackson on his way to a dominating victory here in the heat at Brands Hatch on 50th birthday weekend for Formula Ford. Cameron Jackson going on to win the race, but it battled round the circuit on board with Peter Hannum. It's side by side up ahead of him, and Rob Lamplow loses out to Lee Penson. And following him through is Stephen King. With Penson up a place, as is King down two. So Lamplow, Peter Hannum trying to get involved in that as well. Tim Bryce leads this really 10-car strong battle towards the line on this the final lap. Next ride on board of Kevin Stanzel to the flag. Chasing down Pickett. Can anyone get a good tow up across the line to hit the car ahead of them? I don't think so. They see the flag after a great battle. They thoroughly enjoyed that, and they will get to do it all again in an hour or so's time when they compete for round 6 of the 2017 Historic Formula Ford Championship. Stephen King ahead of Lee Penson now as they turn their way through Sterling, so that's been a change. So King's gained 2 places on this, the final lap of the race. And Peter Hannum has a big dive to the inside of Rob Lamplow. He had to take to the grass there to avoid contact. Battle's going right down to the final corner here at Brands Hatch in typical Formula Ford fashion. Let's take a look at the results then. It was Cameron Jackson's Lola that beat Westy Mitchell by 9 seconds. Mitchell kept Ed Thurston at bay, both Jackson and Thurston coming from the back of the grid there. In 4th position was Brian Morris, who started from pole. He finished ahead of Rob Smith and Tim Bryce. Won that battle, that fantastic battle for 6th, beating Roland Svensson, Michael Grant Pitkin, Daniel Pickett, Kevin Stanzel, Neil Schinner and Andrew Wiggins. Ian Geary was the best of the rest, had a Dick Dixon. Chris Sharples, Alistair Littlewood, Michael Rasper, Stuart Dix, Chris Williams and Chris Stewart. Stephen King, Lee Penson, Rob Lamplow, Peter Hannum, James Lovett and Rudolf Ernst will all graduate to the race later on today. Make sure you join us for that, the 6th round of the 27 Historic Formula Ford Championship. It's set to be a good one.